I'm gonna be reacting to my viewers' best gaming setups, which they sent me through Discord. So for the very first setup, we got Will's, and starting off with a really cool wallpaper with leaves that go really good with the whole entire setup. The mousepad has like gray swirls. He's got a black keyboard with a wooden wrist rest beneath it. There's a boom arm with a microphone, and I quite don't know what it is. Also, there are tons of plants around the whole entire setup. Also, there's a normal lamp on the right of the setup, which looks like one that you would just like have in your bedroom or something on your nightstand. Also, there's a digital clock with huge LED numbers. I forgot to mention that the mouse is a black Logitech one, not quite sure of the exact model. Also, there's a big speaker under the monitor, so probably has some pretty good sound to it. Also, the main bottom monitor is bigger than the top one, just like in my setup. I can't really see the brand names on them, so also I don't see a PC anywhere, which is I guess surprising, but there's gotta be one somewhere, probably on the ground if I would have to guess. Also, there's a monitor light on the top, and everything in this setup actually goes pretty well together, so I'm definitely gonna have to rate this like an 8.5 out of 10. So the second setup is by someone named Corndog, which is a pretty interesting username. The first thing I noticed about this setup is the BMW wallpaper, and of course it's in my favorite color, blue. Also, there's only one big monitor, but I can't really read the brand off the bottom. For his keyboard, it's an RK61 in white, which was actually my very first mechanical keyboard, and it's pretty decent for the price of around like $55, I believe. Also, he's got some kind of Razer Viper mouse. Not quite sure. It might be the Razer Viper Mini or just like the regular one. Not quite sure about that. Also, it's like a black mouse pad. I forgot what the design's called. I think it's like topographic or something. And then he's got a Rubik's Cube on the left of the monitor, so maybe that's like one of his hobbies or something. Also, one thing I did notice is that the PC doesn't have that much RGB, but at least it still has some. Don't know the specs on that PC. He has the same clock under the monitor as I do, and I usually get a lot of questions about that, so it's on Amazon, and it's the Jaw digital wooden one. Also, there's lots of stuff on the walls above the setup, but overall, I'm gonna have to rate this setup a 6.5 out of 10. To be honest, I don't even know how to say this next person's name. I'm just gonna do the best I can. So I think this person's name is Pekco. That's definitely not right, but anyway, it looks like an orange themed setup. He's got two monitors. The one on the left is vertical, the one on the right is horizontal. The PC actually looks really nice with the three fans going down like the side of it, and of course they're in orange since it's an orange themed setup. The mouse is like one wired Logitech one. I've definitely seen it before, but don't know the model name. Also, I'm not quite sure of the car on the screen. I swear it was like a Skyline, but I'm probably wrong. He's got a little switch down below the monitors. The monitors are mounted, and then he's got a black, looks like 60% keyboard with some kind of orange dog mouse pad that says whoa. Never seen that before, but I just realized the Pringles container on the left with a fake plant, and this actually looks like a really good setup, so I think I'm gonna have to rate this a 7.5 out of 10. The theme of this next setup actually looks sick, and I think it's by Fronnie. Not quite sure if I said that right. I'm not really good at pronouncing these usernames, but he has two monitors. They're not mounted, but the one on the left is on the desk, it looks like. The wires are a little messy, but you know, I can't be talking. You should see mine. There's a 60% white keyboard with a mouse on the right, and I know that's a CyberPower one because I have got the same one that came with my PC. The PC is actually so clean. What the heck? Is that a pre-built, or like did you build that yourself? Also, there's a duck in the PC. He's got 3 RGB remotes on the left of the PC. It's just a little messy, you know. The little hexagon panels, like the RGB ones above the setup, super clean. Not quite sure if there's an RGB strip around the desk, or it might just be behind the monitors. Yeah, I think it's behind the monitors. And then a regular black mouse pad. I think that brand is from Walmart. I might be wrong. It's like a bluish white setup. I can't tell. Is that white? Yeah, I don't know, but I'm gonna have to rate this setup 7.5 out of 10 again. So this next setup is by I'm a Legend Thanos. This setup would look a lot better if you just like put a wallpaper on the screen, just so it's a little coordinated, you know, but the PC, I gotta say, is super clean with like 9, 10, no, not 9. What am I talking about? 7 fans, it looks like. It could be 8. I'm not quite sure. There's a little glare on the PC, and then he's got some like RGB RAM, which I kind of want, honestly. So if I upgrade my RAM, I'll definitely probably get RGB ones, so it would look cleaner for my PC. Anyway, he's got the HyperX Quadcast microphone in the red, and then it looks like the Apex, what's that one called? The Apex Pro TKL. The mouse, it's too dark, I can't see, but it might be a Razer one. And then an RGB black mouse pad. I've seen those everywhere. The monitors aren't mounted. The one on the right looks a little smaller than the one on the left, and he's got some LED lights around like I guess the wall, you could say. It's a little dark, but maybe just add an LED strip around the desk, you'll be gold. But I'm probably gonna have to rate this like a 6 out of 10. So this next setup is by King W, and obviously you know where that name came from. But anyway, this setup, obviously you can tell like he didn't spend the most amount of money on it. Like it's not overdid at all. Honestly, pretty good for like it's actually pretty good for the money that was spent on it. So the PC is like an Acer almost office one, it looks like, but not really quite sure of the spec. But the monitor's tilted like to the ceiling for some reason. Not quite sure about that. It's not mounted, just like, and then he's got a PS like 4 or just PlayStation little LED thing on the right. And then the keyboard and mouse obviously don't look the most expensive and luxurious, but the mouse pad's just, you know, a plain black one. And honestly, for the amount of money he spent, it's pretty clean. And then the chair is just like a regular gaming one you'd get like on Amazon for not that much probably. Honestly, I like it. Just maybe add an LED strip on the desk. You can get those super cheap, like literally anywhere, probably even at the dollar store, but they might not work that good. This is actually pretty good. I'm gonna rate it a 5.5 out of 10, maybe 6, not quite sure though. So this is Finn's Xbox gaming setup, and obviously I've had a gaming setup sort of like this in the past, obviously not exact. I've had the Xbox Series S, one monitor, keyboard, mouse, controller. The monitor has a really thick bezel and it's mounted, I can actually see, but just really close to the desk. And he's got one of those like Echo show things on the left. Never had one of those, only had the Echo dots. And then the mouse pad, I think it's just like a black one. And then the keyboard and mouse, black and white. Then the Xbox controller, obviously. And then a white mouse. So it looks like he just has a simple black and white themed setup. And then I actually have that same neon cloud sign above the setup. It's on the right above my PC. And then I'm not really quite sure what that black thing is on the right of the setup. And then he's got a book on the way right. But yeah, basically with the setup, cables, I can't really see. It's kind of dark down there. But I'm probably gonna have to rate this setup like a 6 out of 10, I think. No, 6.5 out of 10. So this red setup is by Unk, and it's actually one of the cleanest red setups I've seen. Like he's got a red keyboard, like backlight. The PC super clean. I think, wait, that's the same one as me. Wait, what the heck? It literally is. I'm looking at mine right now. It's the same one. That's crazy. It might not have the same specs. Mine was 1K. Specs are in the description. Not quite sure what your specs are. Then he's got a monitor bar above it, and then, oh wait, the Windows thing on the like wallpaper you guys see there is usually blue, so I'm not quite sure how he changed that. Maybe he just got it online or something. But he's got a desk lamp on the left, Logitech mouse, black mouse pad. But yeah, black and red, honestly, if you do it right, it can be a really good color scheme and looks super sick. And then there's a red light coming out of the back of like the setup. Not quite sure if that's from the monitor. It might be. There might be earbuds. Oh, there's an Echo dot under the left of the monitor. Honestly, the only thing I would change about this is mounting the monitor. And also, I definitely have to rate this setup like a 7.5 out of 10. Looks sick. So this second to last setup is by Mr. Fluent One. And honestly, the setup's pretty good. The only thing I would change is I would make the RGB on the PC red, just because it would match the rest of your setup, because it looks like your keyboard's red, or it has like LED background, like backlight or whatever it's called. There's red on the monitors. It's like a Gutsy like wallpaper swirl thing. And then it looks like, I forgot what the brand of that mouse pad is. I've seen it before though. And also it's a 60% keyboard in white, or no, I don't think that's 60%. It might be a little bigger, maybe like 70% or something. And then the mouse is all black. It kind of looks like my Razer Viper Ultimate, but it doesn't have the little logo, so I don't think it is. Also, I'd add a little more LED backlight behind the setup and maybe make that red too if you make the PC red. White desk, can't really see much of it since the, you know, mouse pads there. There's a headset on the monitor, and then like it looks like there's some kind of LED thing above the monitor. Not quite sure about that. Pretty cool. I'd probably rate this a 6.5 or either 7 out of 10. Probably 6.5. So Fosshy's setup is going to be the last we're looking at in this video, and that wallpaper on the right is actually the same exact one I use and many YouTubers use. And on the left, of course, he's got Fortnite up. It's loading. And then he's got a microphone. I might have that one too. I think I do. Looks like, I forgot the brand. But anyway, looks like super light mouse with a white keyboard, or no, white keycaps with a black base keyboard. SteelSeries mouse pad. I've had a small one, not that big. The monitors are mounted. There's just some cables. Oh, it's because he has like an outlet on the desk. I've never had an outlet built on the desk. And then a little wooden desk. I'd have to rate this setup like a 6 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching me react to my viewers' setups. If you guys want to be featured in the next video, join my Discord, which is in the link in the description, and then put it in the Share Your Setups channel. If you guys watched this entire video, make sure to comment animal so I know you did. Make sure you guys also like and subscribe, and that's about it. Peace.